What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Champion Car Company. We're going to take a look at their 2021 Chevrolet Camaro 1LS. Huge shout out to them for providing this sports car for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website because they have a ton of awesome pre-owned inventory, including this Camaro that you see behind me. As you can tell, this model is finished off in white. It also has right around 7,000 miles with a list price just over $30,000. We're going to start off today's review with what powers the 1LS. So up underneath the hood, you're going to find the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This is paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 275 horsepower around 5,600 RPM and 295 pound-feet of torque around 3,000 RPM. This is rear-wheel drive, weighs in right around 3,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds up to its top speed of 157 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 19 gallons, and you can expect to see around 20 miles per gallon in the city and 30 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 110.7 inches. Its overall length is 188.3. It has a width of 74.7 and a height of 53.1 inches. As we work our way to the exterior now for this Camaro, the 1LS is the base model for the Camaro lineup. However, it still comes with LED DRLs and LED turn signals. And you'll notice that the turn signal is the innermost section of the headlight housing there, where this also has projector beam headlights right in the middle. You'll see they have a really nice sleek design to them, matching well with this upper grille, where you'll also notice plenty of cutouts to provide maximum cooling to that turbocharged engine, as well as all the cutouts down in the lower section of the bumper. On each end of the bumper, you'll also see the functional air inlets, so that will help channel airflow through those and around the front tires to better improve with aerodynamics, as well as the lower air dam. So we still have a really nice front end design, as well as the lines that are coming down the hood, just to give it more of a sporty look. As we work our way to the side now, you'll see we have the 18-inch wheels with a multi-spoke design. Really nice against this exterior white. You'll see the Camaro badge just behind the front tire, and some really nice lines that run down the sides. So you'll see those in the lower side skirts there. We have the body-colored side mirrors. You can see the shark fin antenna up top, as well as the gas cap being finished off in black, just to give it a great look. All of the window trim is finished off in black too. And then you can see there's another line just behind the door. It runs all the way to the taillights. So you can see from this angle here, just gives it a really nice side proportional design. And then finishing up in the rear, this does have LED taillights. You'll see they have a really nice design to them, kind of more of a 3D shape. So it's really nice to see those contoured lines. This model also has a backup camera. You'll see the dual exhaust down below, as well as the third brake light mounted right up on the trunk lid. So that's a look at the exterior for this Camaro. Before we take a look at the interior, let's go ahead and remote start this. So even though this is a base model, Chevy still includes that. So if you lock the vehicle and you hold on that button right there, you can hear it automatically start up, which is a really nice feature to have. If you hold on this button, you can shut it off for whatever reason. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the vehicle. And as we walk up to it, you can see the silver button here that you can use to lock it, of course. And then moving on to this door panel here, you'll see we still have some really nice materials. There's leather and stitching on the armrest here. Of course, we have the window controls as well as the side mirror adjustments. You can see the release handle as well as lock and unlock. This also has a 6-speaker audio sound system, and we do have a release for the rear trunk. As we look at the door sill now, you can see Camaro spelled out. And then moving on to these seats, these are cloth seats. They have a nice design to them. You can see the pattern running down the inserts, as well as the bolstering support, and the driver's seat is power operated. So we have all of those controls down on the side. Now it's time to take a look at the interior for this Camaro. I have the driver door opened up all the way, so you can see just how easy it is to enter and exit. Of course, we have the grab handle there. As we move on to the steering wheel, you'll see it's completely covered in leather with really nice stitching running along the inside. And we have a lot of hands controls, which we'll get to here soon. In order to fire this up, we have the engine start stop button over on the right side. And with my foot on the brake, we can start it up. And then as we come back to the gauge cluster, you'll see the tach on the left side, as well as miles per hour on the right side. Up top is the fuel gauge, as well as the engine temperature. And just below that, you can see the digital screen, where you can go through a lot of information using these buttons over on the right side of the steering wheel. You'll also notice this does have Bluetooth and voice commands. So by using those buttons there, right now you can see the miles per hour. If I scroll down, you can go to trip information. We can scroll down again to look at more fuel information. You can look at your oil life as well as TPMS. look at the air filter as well as your average speed. There's also a timer too, so if you'd like to use that, you can. And you have some other vitals that you can go into and look at just to keep an eye on everything. If I scroll over to the left side, you can go into information or options. So you can go into this, configure all of your units and everything like that, just depending on what you'd like to see. And then down at the bottom, you'll see there's a compass as well as what gear you're in. And we have a really nice design surrounding the gauge cluster too, with really nice trim that you'll see. Matches nicely with the trim on the steering wheel. You'll also notice over on the right side, we have volume for the radio as well as favorites for your stations. You'll see cruise control on the left side, and this does have the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. So you'll see those are finished off in black. Looking over on the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see we have one air vent. And then coming back to the middle, this is the 7-inch touchscreen system. You'll see right now we're on the home screen, so you can go into audio and phone. We have Wi-Fi. This also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can connect your phone and see it on the system. We can go into the climates where you have all those controls, of course. Home is down below. You'll also see shortcuts to music and phone, as well as the compass and your climates. So it's a pretty basic system, but it has pretty much everything that you need. You'll see on this home screen here, we have audio on the left side, and when your phone is paired, you can see that on the right side. You'll see just below that, we have another physical button for the home dial, as well as power and volume for the radio and tuning. There's a shortcut to be able to use your phone. And then just below that, you can see all the climate controls. We have where you'd like the air to go, as well as a digital screen on the left side and the right side. So you can use this dial surrounding the left air vent to control the temperature for up front. Over on the right side is the fan speed. So you can see that adjust on that digital screen there. Really nice how that's incorporated together. You can also turn on and off the air vents just by turning on the center dial. So that's really great to see. We have the defroster buttons just in the middle, as well as the hazards. And then looking at the shifter now, just by pulling the release up front, we can go into reverse. You'll see the backup camera up here. Really good graphics too. You can turn on and off those guidelines as needed. We can go back into drive, pop it over into the sport mode, which allows you to use these paddle shifters. Just behind that, you'll see traction control as well as the different driving modes. So this has 3 different driving modes. We have snow and ice, sport, and tour mode. You'll see that adjust too on the lower section of the screen. So when that does disappear, you can still see what mode you're in. We have the electronic parking brake just behind that, as well as a 12 volt. 2 cup holders are right in the middle. And then opening up the center armrest, you can see there's a little bit of storage space for any smaller items you'd like to place there. And then we have the glove box where you have a lot more room for all of that information. You'll see too, there's leather on the back side of the dash there, just giving it a great touch. We'll look at these cloth seats one more time here, have a really nice design to them. And then up top, we do have the dome lights as well as some OnStar controls. As we move on to the back seats now for the Camaro, I already went ahead and moved this seat a little bit forward. All we have to do is pull on this release here and we can fold the backrest forwards there. And then at 5'10", I can go ahead and make my way to the back, where you'll see if I have this all the way back, I have a little bit of room for my knees. My feet easily fit up underneath the seat, and my head is just up on the headliner here. You're not buying this vehicle for a full 4-seater, but at 5'10", I could ride around town in the back seats and be very comfortable. You'll notice we have plenty of room for another passenger, a little bit of storage space right in the middle. Plenty of visibility for your backseat passengers too, with this small glass on both sides. And then you'll see too that this entire backrest does fold down. So if you do need more interior storage space, you can utilize that. But there is plenty of room for 2 adults to be in the back. And then I can easily pull on this tab here, push that seat forwards, and hop out. And then last up, it's time to take a look at the trunk space. So you can double tap this button on the key fob. You can use one that's just above the license plate or the one that I showed earlier on the door panel. And with this opened, you can see there's a lot of room for any items you'd like to place here. I have some of my items over on the left side just to give you a perspective. And then with that back seat folded down, you can see there's not really many overhangs on both sides, so you can definitely put in a lot more items if you need to. There's plenty of room even with those back seats up, so you can utilize this. It's a very practical sports car, both for people and for putting storage in the back. We do have a lightweight trunk lid here, makes it very easy to close. All right, so getting the 2021 Chevrolet Camaro 1LS out on the road. We've reviewed a ton of Camaros for the channel. This is the first 1LS that I've been behind the wheel of. A few weeks ago, I drove a ZL1, which had well over 600 horsepower. This has less than half of that, but I really like the fact that you can get a Camaro that fits your budget. We have a huge range of different engine options, different transmission options. You really have a lot of different options to spec the Camaro based on what you're looking for and what you can afford. So let's go ahead and pop this into the sport mode here, because we do have these paddle shifters, so we can go down to second gear, give it a little bit of gas, Let's go ahead and pop it into sport mode as well. The paddles aren't quite as responsive as some of the other Camaros that I've been behind the wheel of, but it has plenty of pep. You know, we got up to the speed limit there. I wouldn't say it's a fast car, but it's a nice sports car. If you're not looking for that added performance that you can get behind the wheel of a Camaro, this is a great option. If you're looking for that sports car design, you want the practicality to be able to drive this every single day, as well as being able to fit in items into the back there. So I think this is a great option for someone who's not looking for that performance-oriented car. I have it in normal automatic mode now. We'll give it a little bit of gas. Honestly, it's not really that slow. That wasn't even half throttle there, and we are up to speed. It's not a loud car either. Even with the different driving modes there, the exhaust note didn't change. So if you're not looking for a loud exhaust, this is very quiet. Just driving it like normal here, it's very quiet as far as road noise and wind noise goes as well. So I can definitely see this being a fun daily driver. We have plenty of room in the back seats there. As you saw, I could fit back there fine. Plenty of room behind the seats. You could honestly drive this every single day and fit in whatever items that you'd like to. So I do like that aspect to it. We also have some really nice interior features. For a base model, we have the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I know a lot of people really like. So you can pair your phone to the system, have your nav going and all of that, which is very practical. That's pretty much all you need, as well as all the AC controls. So it is a very basic interior compared to some of the other Camaros that I've been behind the wheel of. But if this is all you're looking for, honestly, to me, that's pretty much all you need. I would add a manual transmission. I don't know if that's an option for this 4-cylinder or not, but I would add the manual, maybe start modding it from there. So if you're also looking to modify a Camaro, you don't want to spend a ton of money on a more expensive one, you could buy this, do some mods to it, and still be in a relatively affordable budget. So I think that would be another great aspect to buying this base model. Okay, getting up into the higher RPM there just a little bit more. It definitely has some pep to it, so I am impressed with that. So switching over to the POV angle now, we'll give it a little bit of gas. Just in normal mode there, and we're up to speed fine. As you can tell, you probably couldn't hear the exhaust. As I mentioned earlier, it's not a loud car at all, which makes it nice. If you're daily commuting this, you're going to work, you know, to grocery store, things like that, and you don't want a loud vehicle, this is perfect for that. Of course, you could upgrade the exhaust if you wanted to, but it's nice how quiet this is. And we're gonna go ahead, pop it over into the sport mode there. Using the dial down below, we'll put it into the sport mode for the driving mode. You can see what gear you're in on the right bottom corner there. A little bit of a delay in these paddles here. I don't think they will be used often, but if you want to use them, if you want to control the gear you're in, maybe you're taking this on some back roads, you can definitely use them, which is great to see. I haven't talked about visibility yet while we're at a stoplight here. The Camaro has some pillars in the back there, but honestly, it's not that hard to see in all directions. It's something that you get used to if you drive this all the time. So it's really not all that bad for a sports car like this. And getting up to speed again, it's very impressive for a turbocharged 4-cylinder. It's what you would expect. We do have some nice materials. There is some plastic lining the top of the dash here, but we have leather on the steering wheel, really nice leather on the airbag cover over there. So for the price point, the materials are what you would expect, but I wouldn't say those are cons. I really like this interior for what it is and the price point of this car. Definitely a very comfortable car as well. As far as the suspension, I haven't really touched on that. It's absorbing all these bumps very well for the road that I'm on. I haven't been on too many twisty roads, but the steering input is actually really good. You can see the moment I turn this steering wheel, we are going exactly where the car is going. So I like that aspect to it. While it's not the top of the line Camaro, we still have great performance for it. Now this doesn't have upgraded brakes or anything like that, but if I slam on the brakes here slightly, We still have great stopping power, so I can see potential for this, not only to add some mods to it, but right off the factory line like this, it's a great handling vehicle. I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2021 Chevrolet Camaro 1LS. Once again, huge shout out to Champion Car Company for providing this sports car for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. I'll have all that info in the description. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads, and I'll see you in the next video.